So we're going to start looking at this problem involving the perpendicular bisector of a line segment through 2 points. Okay, so I'm gonna accompany this by looking at the sketch pad. So here I have my points plotted, A and B, -4, -2, and 6, 8. Okay, I'm going to construct a segment through those two. Now, if I want to perpendicularly bisect this segment, that means I need to, on that segment, I need to find its midpoint. So we're going to ask Sketchpad to find the midpoint. And then through the midpoint, I need to construct a line perpendicular to this segment AB. So construct the perpendicular line. Now there is the sketch of that. This is the line, which is the perpendicular bisector of the segment AB. All right. And what we had to do was we had to find the midpoint of the segment, but we're also going to need to know the slope of the newly created line here. Okay. Now, to find the slope of the newly created line, we're going to find what the slope of AB is and use the perpendicular fact to find the slope of the line in question. Because remember, lines that are perpendicular have slopes that are opposite reciprocals of each other. Once we have the midpoint of AB and the slope of AB and its negative reciprocal, we will then find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. So we're going to run through this. This is telling us step by step what we have to do. Okay, so let's begin with that. Okay, let me get my pen up here running. All right, so I guide you through. I say the slope. I've determined the midpoint. Now remember midpoint formula. x1 plus x2 over 2, comma y1 plus y2 over 2. That's simple formula, y1 plus y2 over 2. So putting those values in, I have that my midpoint is going to be computed by -4 plus 6 over 2, and adding the y coordinates, -2 plus 8 over 2. Okay, so that is, of course, okay, -4 plus 6 is 2 over 2, which is 1, and a -2 plus 8 is 6 over 2, which is 3. So it looks like my midpoint is at 1, 3. 1, 3. Okay, again, the midpoint formula, adding the x coordinates, -4 plus 6 over 2, -4 plus 6 is 2 over 2, which is 1, -2 plus 8 over 2 is 6 over 2, which is 3. Let's just confirm if our sketch pad finds that same, okay, point. Looks to be, all right, the coordinates of that point are 1, 3. So far we check, okay? Now, of course, we need to compute the slope of AB, okay? So let me come back to our problem at hand, computing the slope, okay? The slope is, of course, y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2, and that's going to be, okay, again, going back, identifying these, okay, y1 would be -2 minus y2, which would be 8 over, okay, -4 minus 6. Again, y1 -2 minus 8 over, okay, the differences in the x's, which is -4 minus 6. So let's make sure we're good with our signs here. This slope then is going to be, okay, come out to be -2 minus 8, which is going to be, okay, -2 plus -8, which is going to be -10 over, okay, -4 plus a -6, which is also -10. So our slope is 1. So the slope here of AB is equal to 1. Now, okay, fortunately, that's easy to compute. The slope of the perpendicular is going to be the opposite of 1, which is 1. I'm writing the slope perpendicular as the opposite of 1 and the sign negative.
Call security 1000.
Okay, sorry for that interruption. Let's just check that. Okay, let me check this. This slope is equal to 1. Okay, and the slope of the negative reciprocal of that would also equal 1. Okay, so that checks, would also equal -1. All right, so let's confirm that. Slope of that is -1. All right, now coming back, we're going to finish this up. Okay, we've got our slope. Okay, now we find the equation of the line through the midpoint. Through 1, 3, with slope equaling the slope of the perpendicular, -1. We go to our modified slope formula. Y minus y1 over x minus x1 equals a slope of -1. We always express it as a fraction. Okay, now we put in our values of our midpoint there, okay, which is going to be y minus 3 over x minus 1 equals -1 over 1. Okay, give me some working room here. We got y minus 3 when we cross multiply by 1 equals -1 times x minus 1. This goes down to y minus 3 equals -x plus 1. Okay. Now I've asked for the standard form, which would simply be bringing the x over. So I'd get x plus y, and then I'd add the 3 to both sides, which would give me 2. Okay, so that's the answer to this. X plus y is equal to 2. But if I want it, my sketch pad is going to give me in the slope intercept form, which would simply be y is equal to -x, okay, plus 4. Obviously, I'm wrong up here. I added incorrectly, which that should be 4. So, okay, because when I added 3 to both sides, 4. Okay, so let's see if that's exactly what Sketchpad gives us. Okay, here we are. The equation of this line is exactly as we said, y equals -x plus 4, okay, which is coinciding with wherever my work is, okay, with what we found here. And that's how we find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of a segment. I guide you through step by step, find the midpoint of the segment. Don't forget midpoint formula. Find the slope of the segment. Take the negative reciprocal slope. Okay, that's the slope of the perpendicular bisector. Then find the equation of the line with that slope as determined here in step C through the point as determined in point A. Use the modified slope formula and you won't have any problems. So there it is. That's what you have to do with those perpendicular bisector problems.